to do something simple. Close your eyes for a second. Think about your very first best friend, the person who taught you how to share, how to laugh, and even how to forgive. I hope you got them pictured. Good. Now open your eyes. By a show of hands, how many of you can imagine that first best friend? That source of foundational empathy being an artificial intelligence. Yeah, this might sound like science fiction, but for the generation being born right now, it will be an everyday reality. And there's something I've noticed about myself after almost every exams. No matter how much I study or no matter how prepared I feel, the moment I walk out, there's always that one thought. I could have done better, and sometimes that feeling stays. I go home, replay everything in my head, and slowly it all becomes a little too much. And in those moments, I don't look for answers anymore. I just go to my mother. I don't even have to explain. Somehow she already knows. And she says the same thing every time. It's okay, dear. You did your best. Simple words. But the way she says it, it gives me a kind of comfort that stays. Not because my answers changed, but because I felt completely understood. And that's where something deeper is built. A quiet human connection. A feeling that you are not alone. And it makes me wonder, in the future, when someone feels this same way after an exam, will they walk to a person beside them? Or will they turn to something on a screen that gives them the right words? Because hearing you did your best is not the same as feeling it from someone who knows you. And maybe that difference is what we need to hold on to. So now, let's imagine a moment. It's December 20th, 2025, and across the globe, hospitals are welcoming the first full cohort of newborns who belong to a brand new generation. A child cries out in a delivery room, surrounded not just by loving parents, but by smart monitors, tracking every vital sign. AI-assisted doctors ensuring perfect care in a world already buzzing with autonomous vehicles outside. And climate-adaptive homes waiting. This isn't just a new life. It's the dawn of Generation Beta, the children born from 2025 onwards who will redefine humanity in an era of seamless artificial intelligence, urgent climate action, and unparalleled global connectivity. Me, being a researcher dedicated to understanding generational shifts, I've spent months analyzing how cohorts shape and are shaped by their times. From the silent generation's post-war resilience to the baby boomers' cultural revolutions. From Gen X's independent pragmatism to the millennials' digital optimism. Gen Z's activist spirit and Generation Alpha's screen-native world. Each group carries the imprint of its era. Now, as we live through the official start of Generation Beta, born approximately from 2025 to 2039, according to the leading demographer Mark McRandle, we stand at a pivotal threshold. These children, mainly the offspring of younger millennials and older Gen Zers, will grow up in a reality where technology isn't just an add-on, but an intrinsic extension of existence. By 2035, they are projected to comprise around 16% of the global population, potentially reaching over 2 billion people, surpassing even Generation Alpha. And many will live well into the 22nd century, witnessing advancements we could only dream of today. Now, beyond all these numbers, think about this interesting riddle. What answers every question correctly except the one that matters the most? Yeah, it's artificial intelligence. The answer is simple until you ask, how do you truly feel in that moment? And that is the kind of world Generation Beta will grow up in. But who are they really? And why do they matter so profoundly to all of us here now? To answer that, we must first understand generations themselves. The concept isn't arbitrary. It's a sociological framework pioneered by thinkers like Karl Mannheim in the 1920s, who argued that individuals born within a roughly 15 to 20-year window share a generational consciousness. Collective experiences forged by historical events, technological leaps, and cultural shifts. For the greatest generation, it was the Great Depression and the Second World War. For boomers, the civil rights movement and space race. The millennials, they navigated 9/11 and the rise of internet. Gen Z came of age with social media activism and COVID-19 pandemic. Generation Alpha, born 2010 to 2024, embraced tablets and smart devices as their first toys. While Generation Beta marks a seismic shift, at the heart of their characteristics lies the unparalleled technological immersion. Unlike alpha smartphone fluency, betas will converse fluidly with advanced generative AI from infancy. Synthetic companions providing homework help, emotional support, and creative collaboration. This could explode creativity. Imagine children designing virtual worlds or composing music with AI partners before age 10. Yet, this immersion raises profound questions. Will over-reliance on AI erode critical thinking or social skills? However, their adaptability, honed in a rapidly changing world, will be a superpower. Now, statistics. Statistics already show us that 36% of Gen Z parents strongly agree on aggressively limiting screen time. Compared to just 30% of millennials, they are hyper aware about mental health. But here comes the paradox. While their parents curate their digital diets, betas will be the first true AI natives. But no generation escapes challenges. And when we talk about Generation Beta, everything comes down to two questions. How will they learn and how will they connect? So now, let me ask you all a question. Have you ever imagined what it would feel like to be a grandmother or grandfather in the year 2060? Now your imagination starts. I am a grandma with my Gen Beta grandchild. And my mind voice goes, in this world of artificial intelligence, I hope my natural intelligence is still useful. But here comes another funny part. My grandchild doesn't come to me with homeworks. Instead, they come to me with their AI assistants hovering in the air just like holograms. And our conversation went on something like this, where my grandchild raised a few questions. Grandma, how did people make friends in your time? Did you actually meet them in person? I laugh. Yes, we did something very old-fashioned. We actually talked face to face. In your world, friendships are different, yet colorful. But then, my grandchild asks me a very different question. Grandma, my AI teacher says I finished today's lessons in 7 minutes. What did you do in your school for 7 hours? And I laugh again. Yes, we did something very old-fashioned too, but in your world, education is also something different. Yes? Yeah, it is. Later, the same day, my grandchild comes to me and proudly tells, Grandma, my best friend lives thousands of kilometers away, but we study together every day. And I realize something beautiful. Technology has given this generation the ability to build global friendships, understand different cultures, and work together to solve problems that affect the entire planet. But sometimes they wonder, Is this person really who they say they are? Is this news actually true? And who is watching our data? In a world filled with connections, trust becomes the rarest thing. And that's when I tell my grandchild something important. Our generation also faced a choice. We could allow technology to control our lives, or we could learn to use technology with wisdom and responsibility. Because the real challenge of the future will not be learning technology. Well, let's be back to the reality. Are we ready to be the ancestors they need? Yes, we will face miracles with challenges. But how do we prepare for them and with them? As parents, we should model balance, unplug together, prioritize natural play, and teach ethical use by example. Being educators, we have to reform curricula now. Shift towards project-based AI augmented learning that emphasizes critical thinking over repetition. As policymakers, let's enact child-centered AI principles today. Demand fairness, safety, and transparency. Protect their privacy rights from birth. Being in a society, we may foster intergenerational dialogue, but don't dismiss their digital reality. Instead, learn from it. Ultimately, Generation Beta isn't merely the future. They are our bridge to it. In their world, students learn through immersive simulations. They explore coral reefs, but without getting wet. They design clean energy systems for sustainable cities, and their projects are not just about marks anymore. They are about solving real global challenges like climate change, equality, and sustainable development. But this brings me to the massive shift: education. Think about your own school days. How many of it was memorizing dates, formulae, and even facts just to pass a test? But for Generation Beta, rote memorization is obsolete. Why memorize what AI co-pilots can fetch, analyze, and synthesize in milliseconds? Here, focus shifts to creativity, ethics, and human AI collaboration. Because education is not just about finding right answers anymore. It is about understanding and staying connected to what makes us human. So now, how many of you feel a little exhausted by the digital world? A little burnt out by the screens? Actually me, and I appreciate your honesty. But Generation Beta's parents, the millennials and Gen Zers, feel this acutely. Because of this, they are bringing to a radical shift to how Beta kids will form relationships. We are seeing a generation of parents who experience the joy, but also the deep psychological pitfalls of unchecked social media. So, as we move forward, I want you all to carry this one final thought in your hearts. Something from the bottom of my heart. We have to rejoice with human connections too, but in par with algorithms. Born today, December 20th, 2025 and beyond, they'll navigate complexities we created and solve problems we couldn't. By nurturing their curiosity, resilience, and humanity, we ensure a world smarter, greener, kinder, and more connected. Let's welcome them, not with fear, but with fearless hope. And maybe one day, when they think of their first best friend, it will still be someone who made them feel understood. Thank you.